Rip, have you figured out how to do this without all us getting trampled?
Nope.
Nobody wants to date me.
I want to date you. I find you really attractive.
Nope.
Bruh, you think you can hurt my feelings? Combat medic, Army, EMS. But I do cry twice a week because my feelings get hurt all the time, so please don't do that.
Stop it. Get some.
Yo, what is going on, guys? I hope you are all doing well. So on today's episode, we are going to be responding to a Manosphere video titled Women Over 35 Hitting the Wall Hard. So guys, before we jump into it, don't forget to leave your thoughts and your comments. And without further ado, let's just jump in and see what some of these women who have hit the wall have to say.
Good woman has literally gotten me nowhere, but I don't have it in me to go be in the streets. So if you need me, I'll be at work or sleeping or at the gym. If you like me and you think you want to date me, please leave me alone. I don't feel like crying anymore.
Welcome back, guys, to another episode of Women Hitting
The wall. No man on earth can make me fall.
And if you are new to my channel and enjoy my videos, a sub would be really appreciated.
One thing I notice about aging is people start to treat you so differently. When I was younger, people would be nicer to me. Like, they would go out of their way to talk to me, smile at me, hold doors open. But as I've gotten older, what I'm noticing is that people, they don't do that. It's almost like you become slowly more and more invisible. I feel like the only people that really see me are other middle-aged women. You know, it's like we give each other this knowing look. And I saw a video about how Karens are women who used to have pretty privilege. I can totally see that being a thing because there's this, you get this privilege that people treat you nice and just give you extra attention that maybe other people don't receive. And then whenever that starts to slowly fade away and then completely stop, it's like if you aren't aware of what's happening, you feel like something's wrong with everybody else. What the freak is wrong? Why is everybody so rude and everybody so dismissive? Why isn't everybody bending over backwards for me? Well,
I love how when a lot of these girls get treated in any capacity like a man, it's a problem. You know, if people aren't just holding doors open for you or treating you nicely simply because you exist, then somehow there's a problem with other people. This is literally what she has said in the video. Literally her own words, guys. A lot of these women are thinking, hey, if a man or, you know, society doesn't do things for me simply because I exist, then it's society's fault. People should just bend over backwards for me. This is the kind of entitlement, guys, that a lot of women get, particularly when they're exposed to social media for long periods of time, because they think that everybody should just be doing things for them simply because they exist. And they realize the hard way when they get to a certain age and the attention starts to dry up. Now, mind you, they're still not going to get even close to the same amount of attention as men. Men just get absolutely none, but they get a reduced amount, and a lot of them lose their minds over it.
well, that's because we were given privilege just based on something as shallow as the way we look. And so we thought that that was the world, like how the world was, but it's not. A lot of people don't live in a reality that is like that.
It's not just you, ma'am. All women are born with value, and we as men, we need to create our own value. A woman, even if she's broke and lives with her parents and is average looking or below, she just posts a picture on Instagram or on TikTok and she gets attention from hundreds of guys. But we as men, we know from birth, you have to make money, you have to become somebody, you have to go to the gym, you have to study just so people respect you. And even then, maybe you get only 10% of the attention that women get. And even though she realizes this, she still posts on TikTok to get that last bit of attention.
And this is the funny thing about the situation as well, guys, before we jump into the next TikTok here, is she talks a little bit there about reality, okay? And when women hit the wall, reality starts to kick them in the backside a little bit, because the girls who have trash personalities but looked halfway decent, dudes would still pay them attention, okay? But a lot of women realize that their crappy personalities don't keep around men. Like, if you're a girl and you have a terrible personality and you don't care about what men think and you're a boss babe and you're a queen, you're all of this, okay? When your looks begin to fade, you have nothing to offer men, which you can sit there and say, well, I don't care what I have to offer men. Cool. But just don't come crying when you're 40 years of age and you're living alone with your cats. Let's continue.
About aging in any kind of comedic way or contemplative way, and I thought, gosh, this is maybe just something that women are really trying to process, and
I think people talk about it more with women. They don't care. They're always like, oh, he's a fine wine, and he got better as he aged.
Yes.
Nobody says that about women. She looks so great at 60. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's really generally saying that. When they do, they're I find age beautiful because I have had friends that didn't make it past 30. Like, you know what I'm saying? We're lucky.
Yeah.
I find these wrinkles, I earned these, I got these. And,
I agree,
and it's a beautiful thing because not everybody's given that chance to have that lifetime.
And
age is awesome.
Age is awesome.
Thank you. Come again.
Guys, can you smell the level of copium coming from them? Cause I sure can. Men aren't talking about aging in women cause we are not allowed. We get called misogynist and incels and we get cancelled.
Things that happen when you turn 30, even though a lot.
What did I tell you guys about the cats, by the way? Like, there is such a correlation between being a girl who's over the age of 35, still no husband, etc., like living your best queen life, etc., and recording these TikToks, and just having an obscene amount of domesticated cats.
A lot of these things happened to me before I turned 30. Anything on wheels is significantly more difficult than it used to be, even if you're super fit. You'll have less hair on your head and more hair everywhere else. You'll probably have at least one skin condition. The dating range on your dating apps goes from 25 to 30 to 30 to 38. I don't know why not 39, but 38 just felt right. For whatever reason, this guy never actually touches the dishwasher. You just rinse him off and put him back in the drawer when he's wet. You realize that the people of your age range who have kids actually had them on purpose and not by accident. Speaking of kids, people finally stop telling you, oh, when I was your age, I didn't want kids either. Karen, I told you I would never want kids. Here I am at 30, still not wanting children. It suddenly feels weird to be attracted to anyone who's under 25. Like, it feels a little creepy now. I don't like it. 2 words, sun damage.
Ma'am, I think you have other kinds of damages than the ones you think you do. Maybe, just maybe, you have
Emotional damage. Emotional damage. Emotional damage.
Guys, I'm just gonna say this before we continue into the next clip, okay? But whenever I see videos of girls talking about their dating preferences as they get older, so this girl was talking about having to change her age demographic on these dating applications. What are you even dating for, man? You know, you could have had your Prince Charming. This is the thing that always gets me, guys, okay? Girls treat dating as though it's something that, like, it's a marathon, you know? Oh, you got to keep on dating, always got to find the next best option, got to continue, you know, searching for your Prince Charming. You have met your Prince Charming so many times. Girl, I think in China, there's like an age cap where they just call women leftover women if they don't have a boyfriend or a husband by a particular time. And guys, I can't help but to agree with that. Dating is not a difficult thing for women. There is no need for you to be in the dating market for 10 plus years. It's absolutely obscene. With men, it's different. And I'll explain to you why. Because most men are not attractive to most women, and oftentimes it takes men a very long time to build up attractive attributes. For girls, all you have to do, and I've said this on the channel many times over, is not eat an obscene amount of junk food, and you're pretty much there. And take a bath. It's really not that hard.
Can someone please explain to me why men avoid me like the plague? It's really annoying, and it's not. I don't want to hear the, oh, the right person will come along right when you don't expect it. It's been 40 years of waiting for the right person to come along right when you don't expect it.
Yeah, I can't imagine why the Prince Charming has never come along. Which, by the way, guys, even though this is just incredibly annoying, this woman would still have had plenty of opportunities with men who would be viable partners. She just wasn't interested in them and would prefer to chase the bad boys. Girls who wind up 40 years of age and single, guys, please understand it is their own fault.
I am on Hinge, and I have sent out delightful messages. Not a single person has responded. And yeah, in my profile, I have both realistic and better than average pictures on there. So, like, I give them a little taste. I'm like, hey, I'm an average lady, but hey, can clean up. Got a single response. Annoyed. I'm annoyed. I need a date.
Cry me a river, baby, you cry me a river. I really don't get why she can't get a date. Please guys, let me know down in the comments, do you see anything wrong with her? Cause to me she looks perfect in every way.
So,
this guy, man.
I am 43 years old. I am still single. No ring on my finger. No baby in my belly. No husband to annoy me. I have had some long-term relationships, but here I am, still single, still looking. I've tried dating apps, but no. So, given the time crunch that I am 43 and I would like to have a baby, and while baby making time is quickly coming to an end.
Isn't having kids at your age just incredibly dangerous as is? Like, I don't understand this, guys. Like, women will put off having children for such a long amount of time and then try and have it in the... It reminds me of, like, back in school, right? How you would always have those kids who would, like, hand in homework at literally the last minute. Except the only difference this time is you actually have a mortality rate when you do it. It's quite insane to me, guys. Like, there was a woman earlier in this video, I'm pretty sure, I'm blanking out, oftentimes I space out when I'm listening to these videos, guys, but pretty sure there was a woman earlier on in this video who said, like, oh, I don't want kids, okay? A lot of these girls, they don't want kids when they're 20, but now when they're 40, they're like, oh crap, you know, I'm running out of time, now I want to have children. I'm pretty sure you put yourself through very significant health risks to have children at your age, as well as your kid. Like, is that not just, like, the most selfish thing you could possibly do? You wait until this age and you're still searching for your Prince Charming. It's like, this is something that you should have done a very long time ago. Right? And society, here's the thing. Number one, women will just ignore everyone in their life if they feel like they're living their best life. Like, it doesn't matter what you come in as a man and say because you'll just get insulted, okay? But it's just crazy to me how, like, all of this is entirely self-inflicted, by the way. All of it. You know, and society does lie to women and say you have all the time in the world, but at a certain point, you've actually got to take responsibility for your own life, which a lot of these girls, you know, really failed to do.
I decided to reach out to a matchmaker.
Oh boy.
I thought, why not try Twalkify? They told me they could match me with 5 guys. 5 guys. For $10,000. I'm not a mathematician, but I think that's about $2,000 per guy. Do any of you think a single man is worth $2,000?
Yeah, and, like, tell me what the problem is. Like, yeah. You know, guys, like, when you watch these videos, you're like, oh, okay, maybe she's had it rough. Maybe she's had it rough. And then she's like, oh, well, you know, men aren't worth $2,000. It's like, man, you aren't in a position to even say what men are worth. You know, oftentimes, like, guys are literally out here getting married, okay, losing houses worth well above $2,000 for women. You know, like, and this girl's like, man, you know, even finding the love of my life at 40 plus years of age, no, not worth $2,000 to me. I'd rather live the rest of my life alone because men aren't even worth, like, anything to me. Okay, live alone then.
Help me. Help me. Stop me from making the biggest mistake of my life. And instead, tell me what I can do to get a baby in my belly, a ring on my finger, and a husband at my side within the next year.
Maybe you should, like, just, you know, just not. Like, guys, isn't it amazing how this woman is like begging for these things, but at the same time like complaining? You know, like this is something that could have been achieved such a long time ago, man. Such a long time ago.
Here.
Thank you, come again.
Well, first of all, ma'am, geriatric pregnancy starts at 35, and every year after that, the risks go up and the chances to get pregnant go down. So I don't know any man that wants a kid that would date a 43-year-old woman. But that's not even the biggest problem. Did you guys hear when she said, "Is any man worth $2,000? Or when she said this?
No husband to annoy me.
I've been dating again for like 8 months now, and like dating really sucks. If you're not in the dating world, I'll just tell you that dating really sucks right now, and it's just so difficult. I get ghosted all the time, and I have guys lie to me all the time, and no one ever follows through with what they say they're gonna do. And I was so excited because this was my second date in 8 months of doing this dating thing, and I just don't understand like what I'm doing wrong, because I'm trying to like be confident in myself and everything, but like at what
You guys find it really weird. I'm gonna have to pause the video because it's kind of aggravating me how we're just recording while we're crying, okay? Or like she's not even crying, she's just like sniffling. But do you guys find it just really silly how when these girls record videos of themselves, like a rational person, if they were even going to record on TikTok, which they wouldn't, but if they were going to, you would think that, you know, you would wait until you were non-emotional to record any video. But like, because we're doing it for attention, right? We have to get on here and we have to be sniffling the whole time and crying, and oftentimes I'm surprised she doesn't have like piano playing in the background. A lot of these women actually put in sad music in the back of their videos to make you empathize with them. But like, it just amazes me how you can't just wait until you're not sniffly or you're not sad to record the video that you want to talk about. You have to include the sniffles for extra empathy points. Also, one more thing, by the way, you know, on the confidence thing that she just brought up, okay? I don't think that if you're someone who's unhealthy, okay, which this woman is, if you're a dude who's unhealthy, if you're a woman who's unhealthy, and you're trying to improve your confidence, the best way you can do that is not by trying to feel more confident magically day by day. It's actually going out there and being healthy and making changes in your life. There's no point faking the confidence. If you want to feel more confident in yourself, then work on your body.
Like, people always are like, you just need to stop trying, it'll happen when you least expect it, like it'll just come out of nowhere, internet dating's not gonna work. But like, at the same time, this date from today was also not an internet date, but people don't just want to date me in my day-to-day life. The only reason that this person that I went out with today even wanted to is because I'm new in town and I just moved here and it's a small town, so I'm like, you know, the fresh new face or whatever. But like, if he was actually interested, then the date probably would have gone better, you know? Like, this is our second date and he's not once told me that I was pretty or that I looked nice, and he doesn't like ask me questions about myself, and I know that the answer is he's just not interested. Like, I'm aware of that.
I love how not being called pretty and not being asked a bunch of questions is grounds to get like completely upset. This is what men experience. Like, do you think men are ever out here getting called pretty or oftentimes being asked questions if they're not quite attractive to the woman? Like, guys, I'm telling you, when women get treated like men in any capacity, a lot of the times, you just wind up with tears. Now, not all of them are going to get on TikTok and cry like this, obviously, like, but, you know, a lot of the times we see girls when they don't get what they think that they're deserving of, like being called pretty or being validated for XYZ or pursued, then somehow it's like a problem. You know, it's like incredibly emotionally taxing. Imagine how a lot of men must feel when they'll go throughout their entire life. Nobody will say positive things to them. A lot of guys' inboxes are completely dry, okay? And you're out here crying because a dude didn't call you pretty on the first date. That is absurd, man.
But like, neither is anybody else, and at some point, I don't want to be single forever. I just see how my other girlfriends that are in dating relationships get treated by the person that's pursuing them, and I don't ever see that happening for me. Like, I've never...
Oh, enough with the sniffling, man.
I just don't see anybody chasing after me and spending so much time putting into effort, and I don't know. Like, I don't necessarily think this is like the only factor, but I have to wonder if it has to do with like my weight, if like I'm a thicker girl and people just aren't interested in that. Like, I never see my thinner friends struggling to connect with guys. I don't know.
I don't get it. Why cry on TikTok about this when you clearly know what the problem is? Why not try to fix that? What does crying resolve? I never understood that.
Also, I would say this, okay, I think even if this woman were a lot more confident in her body, right, and actually took steps to fix it, I think she would still wind up with the same issues, because a lot of women have this same issue. The issue is you're selecting men who don't want you, and then you're complaining about the results. There's always going to be dudes who are interested in you, even if you are unhealthy, even if you have a bad personality. What makes the difference is, are you selecting men who you can actually keep around? And typically, for the most part, women are selecting men who they can't keep around. Guys, we're going to be leaving today's episode there. Remember to leave your thoughts and your comments. Let me know in the let me know in the comments box below, guys. Did the sniffling piss you guys off? Because that was absolutely crazy. And without further ado, guys, we're going to be leaving it there. So make sure that you guys take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you all in the next one. Peace. Yo, what is going on, guys? Past Taylor here. Just want to say thank you if you made it to the end of today's episode, and also to say a little bit of an announcement. We are going to be recruiting more members to Fiend Gang, so if this is something that interests you, you want to be a content creator, make sure you check out the link in the video description. It's going to be somewhere near the top. There's one for a creator application, and then also if you're someone who makes music, if you make beats, we're also looking for someone who can make beats for the channel as well. So if either of these interest you, make sure that you check them out. And as always, guys, just again, make sure you take care of yourselves, and I'll be seeing you in the next one for real this time. Peace.